Welcome into the Michigan Football Report. We're coming to you from the Chat Sports Schembechler Hall replica studios. Got our 5 most important games of the 2020 season. According to me, it's what we call a Michigan Football Short. It's a show that a few minutes long, focus on you guys' opinion, not mine. We're going to put a poll question on these games later on in the show. Let's take a look at number 5 on my list, Wisconsin Badgers, a home game. Michigan's going to get a little bit of revenge for the beatdown they took in Madison back in September. Wisconsin was a little bit disappointing down the stretch, ended up 10-4. One of those losses being to Ohio State in the Big Ten title game. 7-2 record on the year. They went to the Rose Bowl. Am I crazy in saying that? I can't remember what bowl game they went to at this point. Whatever. Rose Bowl, 9-4 was Michigan last year. Coming off a 2-game losing streak. It's pretty consistent. Gosh, if Harbaugh just wins 1 out of the games, Ohio State in the bowl game the last 4 years, he's got a few 11-win seasons in there. So that's got to change. Michigan needs to beat Wisconsin at home, which they've done both times it's happened under Jim Harbaugh, 2016, and then a big-time beatdown in the 2018 season. How about Minnesota? What a surprising team they were. Went to a New Year's Six game, 11-win season last year. Michigan's got to head on the road up to Minnesota to play them. And what's the name of that stadium now? The TDF Ameritrade Field, something like that. Used to be the Metrodome. Now they've got spruced up new field. Trying to producer in my ear tell me what the name is. I don't care. You don't care. 11-2 is what they went. They went last year. Look, this is not a cakewalk game. They've got a returning quarterback. They've got a really hot coach who knows how to win turnaround programs. This right now looks like a potential loss to me on the road, where Harbaugh's just kind of been a disaster against ranked teams. They were 11-2 last year. I'm putting this as a loss until I see some better play out of Michigan's quarterbacks heading into this season. Our deal of the day, make sure you guys take advantage. Still on sale, $15. If you haven't bought it yet, I don't know what you're waiting for. For the price you pay for your morning coffee over the price of a month, you can outfit your entire family with matching Michigan football shirts. This year for Christmas, you take the Christmas shirts, you look like dorks, you're all wearing them in a Christmas photo. Just talk about, that's just family values right there. So be a family man or woman, chatsports.com/blue3. Go to that website, get the deal, put it in the comments. I'll put it in the video description as well. Number 3, Penn State, another home game. Another team that beat Michigan when Michigan headed on the road to take them on in 2019. They've got a returning quarterback. I don't know who else is returning from Penn State because they've had more transfers of big-time players than any school I can ever remember. They've already lost 2 5-stars from the 2018 recruiting class just in the last month, a wide receiver, a running back, but they might have the best defensive player in the Big Ten coming back next year. So this is going to be a tough one. Michigan's done really well against Penn State at home under Jim Harbaugh. Harbaugh 3 wins, 3-2 against Penn State in his time at Michigan. So this will be an interesting one, a little revenge, and a game that really turned Michigan's season in a couple ways. They lost the game, but that comeback and that kind of explosion of offense in the second half kind of turned the narrative on a really disastrous season from the offensive side of the ball. So that's my number 3 game heading into 2020. How about number 2? This may surprise you because Michigan could lose it, and it really doesn't matter in the Big Ten race. But I think it sets the tone for the season, and I think Michigan needs to exercise some of their demons. We'll talk about the real demons here in a moment. But at Washington, a team that I don't think will be ranked in the top 25, but maybe, so it might not be a ranked win. Maybe they sneak into number 25. But 8-5, new quarterback, Jacob Eason off to the pros, new coach, some talent coming back. But if you lose this game to an underwhelming Washington team that I think is going to go 7-5 in the regular season this upcoming season, you lose that game. The season, from a perception nationally, and a bunch of Michigan fans, myself included, perception of Jim Harbaugh's ability to win a game on the road, to prepare your team to start a season, firing all cylinders, it's just a disaster. And the entire season just kind of becomes unwatchable at that point. I know they lost the opener on the road to Notre Dame in 2018, but don't lose this game against Washington and then expect Michigan fans just to show up in droves to every home game from out there. So that's my number 2 game. Before we get to number 1, probably no surprise to you guys who it's going to be. I'll lead it with this. Committing every single show. We'll remind you that Michigan needs to beat Ohio State. It's getting a little ridiculous at this point. Got to beat Ohio State. I haven't seen anything from the program yet to acknowledge that they're taking this seriously. All I need is like a maze puff of smoke to come out of the chimney like they do when a new pope is. You put a maze puff of smoke. I know Harbaugh's taking it seriously. This has got to be up on his on the wall in his office. If it's not yet, I don't think Michigan's going to beat Ohio State in 2020. Got to take it as seriously as they do. If Justin Fields, that carpetbagger, is calling you out for not taking the game seriously, you know something's fundamentally wrong. They're the #1 game every year, but this year more important than probably ever, because if Jim Harbaugh falls to 0-6 against Ohio State, I don't even know. You couldn't even comprehend that. If you would have tried to sell the movie rights to that in 2014, every person in the planet would be like, you are smoking crack, that a coach in Michigan would make it to year 6 and lose 6 straight games to Ohio State and still have a job. Harbaugh unlikely to get fired even if he does lose that game. So you got to. I just don't even know what to say with losing 6 games for Jim Harbaugh. Would be, 9 in a row for the entire program. But that's the question there. Comment on the right side of the screen. Go below to the comment section. These 5 games, I'll leave them up on the screen here for just a second. You take it all in. Wisconsin, Minnesota on the road, Washington on the road, Ohio State on the road, and they've got that game at number 3, Penn State at home. So 2 home games, 3 road games. What will Michigan's record be in this game? I've got 3-2. I think they'll beat Washington. I've got a loss at Minnesota, loss at Ohio State. Predict below. See what you guys think on this topic. Those were our top 5 games headed into the 2020 season. While you're here, don't forget to do this. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't. It's right here. Just click the dang thing. Go do something else you want to. Or if you're on YouTube and you've got nothing better to do, go ahead and watch some more of our videos. Got some awesome Michigan Football Report videos for you right here and right here. Go Blue.